The research grant was awarded in 2016, and it supported a brand new research project in my lab. So when I started my independent lab in 2011, we were really focused on understanding how infection impacts blood production. And we were beginning to think a lot more about bone marrow failure and how chronic immune activation can damage the bone marrow. And we were particularly interested in a specific cell type called a macrophage, which is an immune cell, and how it could contribute to damage. And we had identified a specific chemokine pathway, which is a signaling molecule, that we thought might be critical for disease. And we really wanted to test this in a model of disease relevant to an important human disease. And the grant was funded basically to help us identify specific receptors, and we were able to accomplish that. And we think identifying more specific targets may complement or maybe even replace standard immunosuppressive therapies that could have more of a focused impact with less side effects. The AA and MDS Foundation research grant was incredibly important for my career. It was awarded at a time when I was trying to grow and expand my research program, and it allowed us to establish an entirely new program for my lab. So it allowed us to establish a mouse model that was really developed by others, but took some time and work to really get up and running. And it allowed us to address important open questions about macrophages in severe aplastic anemia. And the foundational experiments that we were able to do provided additional data that allowed us to put together applications to apply for additional funding through the Department of Defense. And I believe this award was really essential for our success in getting an IDEA grant from the Department of Defense a few years ago. And just last month, we were awarded another grant for the next 2 years to continue these studies. So it really launched an entirely new program for my lab that has gone on to lead to a lot of important new areas of research. Specific to my career, it was instrumental in being able to grow my lab. It was important for advancement, and I've been invited to speak on this work at a number of different conferences, including at ASH, the American Society for Hematology, and others, including a Gordon conference. And so it's allowed me to interact with a lot of scientists and clinicians, and has been really foundational for my whole research program. In addition, it's helped me support trainees in the lab. So the first student that was working on this project and helped get the whole project up and running, she was my first PhD student, and she's now working at Boston Children's Hospital, where she's working in a translational research program. And so she's continuing to do really important work. And a postdoc who worked on this project as well is now working at Case Western Reserve University and is continuing actually to do some work on bone marrow failure. So this award really helped me personally. It helped my lab, and it allowed me to continue training scientists, which I think is very important for pushing all of the science forward and keeping research on bone marrow failure diseases going and reaching new grounds. I think the project that, where it started, was really exciting, but it's really grown. And now I think we're working, we're continuing to make new discoveries. It's become an entire research program. And I'm very excited about the work that we just, got an award to continue doing, which will continue things even further. So it is, I think, it's really remarkable what this did for my lab, and then for a number of other scientists too. So what I really hope that our research is able to achieve is a meaningful translational impact that can improve treatment and outcomes for patients. When I first started this project, we were really excited about understanding the basic biology of what's going on. And, we've contributed to that, I think. But what I think I would really love to see happen is if what we're discovering can actually be translated into human patients that can improve their outcomes and lessen side effects of current therapies and complement or even replace other therapies. So that would really be what I would hope ultimately to achieve with what we started. When I found out that the funding that made the award possible was from the Maslin family and through the foundation that they established to honor their daughter, Julia, I was really very emotional. So the main thing I would say is first how sorry I am for their loss, and how grateful I am and really awed by their ability to take that pain and channel it into something so meaningful. So the foundation that they've established in their daughter Julia's honor, Julia's Wings, helps other families going through what they're going through, and it also funds basic research like what I'm doing. And as a researcher, it was especially meaningful. The personal nature of being funded by a family that witnessed the devastation of this disease allowed me to see more clearly and realize the importance of what we're doing and our discoveries. So it's very easy to get lost in the day-to-day work that you're doing and some of the challenges. But thinking of Julia and her family helped redefine the purpose of our research and to appreciate the importance of why we as researchers must be persistent, especially when things might be challenging. So it helped put a lot of what we're doing into perspective. And severe aplastic anemia is a rare disease, but it's catastrophic, and there's a real dark cloud of mystery that kind of permeates, why it occurs and to certain people. And I think the ability to think about that, it's really it's a challenging puzzle. It definitely keeps me up at night, but it's one that I really hope to continue working on. Science research in general can be challenging, and this is compounded by uncertainty in funding, which of course can be stressful. But this research award has been a reminder that the unknowns that we face in laboratory really pale in comparison to the unknowns that families face when a loved one is diagnosed with bone marrow failure. And so it's really helped put our work into perspective. It's provided a lot of meaning to what we do. And knowing that this project really got off the ground in the spirit of Julia and in the honor of her memory, it's really incredibly meaningful.